Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gates talked about Mr. Colangelo earlier. Mr. Colangelo was acting Associate Attorney General for the Justice Department under President Biden prior to your arrival. Is that my understanding?
Right. That's right.
And is that considered to be the third highest ranking official within the DOJ?
Yes.
Okay. What did he do prior to his service with the Department of Justice?
I didn't know Mr. Colangelo before. My understanding was he had once been in the Civil Rights Division. I don't know his resume.
Would it surprise you to know that he was the Deputy Director for the Obama-Biden administration's National Economic Council?
Wouldn't surprise me or not surprise me.
Were you aware also that he worked for the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, for a period of time?
I've read that in the paper.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know that he was paid thousands of dollars by the DNC for political consulting in 2018?
So that I have no idea about.
So I think the issue that we're having is that it looks like that this particular gentleman, his whole mission seems to be prosecuting a president. He started off with Letitia James. He has a stint with the Department of Justice. And then Mr. Gates kind of talked about this earlier. Normally, if you're going for something, you start out at a DA level and then you might move to the Department of Justice. Like it's an elevation. He has gone backwards. Why is that, you think?
Let me just set forth the whole thing here if I can, okay? I know Mr. Colangelo because of his service in the department. He's a highly ethical person and an excellent lawyer. The Associate's Office supervises the Civil Division, the Civil Rights Division, the Antitrust Division. That office does not supervise any of the criminal components that supervise the criminal investigations of Mr. Trump.
Don't you think, though, Mr. Attorney General, that his career choices, the path that he has chosen, at the very least, poses the perception of an ethical issue for the Department of Justice?
No, I don't see how it poses any issue for the Department of Justice. He's not an employee of the Justice Department. The Justice Department did not send him to New York. Those decisions in New York are made by the DA of New York.
Well, fair to say, but we have a, Manhattan DA headline, Manhattan DA hires ex-senior DOJ official as office investigates Trump. Another one from the New York Times, Manhattan DA hires ex-justice official to help lead Trump inquiry. Now, you might not have had anything to do with that, but the perception is, and the American people perceive, that the Department of Justice is intimately engaged with this. And I think in my last minute here, here's the issue that I think that people say, that in polling shows this consistently, that the American people believe that the prosecution of President Trump is more about politics than it is about any violation of the law. In the DOJ's own words, its mission consists of independence and impartiality, honesty and integrity. At your Senate confirmation hearing in 2021, you said the department will be under my protection for the purpose of preventing any kind of partisan or other improper motive in making any kind of investigation or prosecution. But since that time, the DOJ has obstructed this committee's impeachment inquiry. It's allowed the statute of limitations to to expire on Hunter Biden's 2014 tax records and the crimes therein, slow-walk the prosecution of Hunter Biden as testified to by whistleblowers. You wouldn't allow investigators to follow department protocols. You've limited witness testimony here in this committee as we try to provide oversight. You've limited the scope in which they can actually say and the number of witnesses, and instructed 2 of the employees to disregard this committee's own subpoena. You refused to comply with the subpoena regarding the audio tapes, hence the contempt, the regrettable and unfortunate contempt that we have to bring. You appointed Jack Smith to prosecute Trump despite his very interesting career of losing cases and targeting political opponents. You sanctioned a raid on Mar-a-Lago, and the concern that we have is that you're either asleep at the wheel or you're intentionally allowing the department and the agents therein to engage in political prosecution of their opponents. Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Close our day.